So, One Piece chapter 1151. Just got done reading it, by the way. And it's pretty good, right? Now, I've seen a couple of people, like, you know, arguing about, not even arguing per se. I've seen a couple of little controversies here and there about who really thought of this theory, because a lot of people are starting to say that this theories are getting stolen. If you made a theory first and you said it first, the time stamps and the dates will tell the truth, okay? You don't have to worry about anything. Because I've seen two things come of this. First of all, like, a lot of people started mentioning how this is like Dome Reversi, or the move Dome Reversi was like the game Reversi, okay? With the fact that, you know, people are turning colors. I never seen anybody specifically mention the act of the character getting flipped around, like, because we seen Dorian Broggy actually get flipped around. Okay, I didn't see anybody actually literally equate this action to the flipping of a piece, but we know that they were quite literally getting flipped outside, well, even outside of it being literal. Okay, that's what I mean. Like, they were not only literally getting flipped, but metaphorically, they were like, their whole personality and everything was getting flipped, right? And reversed. So that was kind of an obvious one. But I seen a further one where people are saying, well, Luffy, you know, is going to be able to turn the other pieces white again. And Dawn Dusk, you know, it's a popular channel. I mean, it's getting more popular as we speak and as the days go on. But he's a really good theorist. He's probably, you know, he's 100% one of the GOATs, one of the top theorists out there, especially being a native Japanese translator. He provides an insight that, you know, people who don't speak native Japanese can't have. With that being said, he does this. He's not the only native Japanese person that watches One Piece and also speaks English. So, yeah, with that being said, I've seen his theory about Bonnie and Luffy both going Nika form and being able to like sandwich in all of the enemies to turn them white and turn all the people back to white. Now, part of this theory that he has, I've seen him, he was also kind of upset that people take his theories, and that theory in particular, I don't know who took it, but I'm not even gonna spend too much time on this, but I know for a fact that people have been always thinking since day one, Luffy could turn other people into Nika. He could Nika-ify other people. So the fact or the idea of Luffy turning other people into a Nika-like form or making them turn all white and giving them his power, that's not a brand new idea. It was kind of a given. There's a lot of fan art of it from years ago when Gear 5th first came out, okay? And I also believe that something like that could happen. I thought it, and sometimes, you know, we all just end up thinking the same thing. I thought some of these things before I even seen anybody else think them. And then it comes to find out we all had the same idea for the same couple of reasons, okay? I still think Luffy is going to be able to make clones of himself. He might make clones of himself to deal with this. I don't know. He might do it with Bonnie and then have Zoro also become Nika. And then now they're all fighting together, turning everybody back to normal. Who knows? I think Nika's heartbeat alone could have a chance to reverse everybody. But that's just me. Now, I didn't hear anybody else say that. And it's time stamped in this video for me saying it. I said it in a previous video before too. But how far should we go, Grade 1? This is what they're asking, right? They even said the board is entirely in our color. And as they say that, as we see this panel, and they're saying all this from watching down above or below, wherever they are, we know Imu's in the sky. I don't know where they are. They're somewhere amongst all of this chaos. But I was interested in some of the nightmares that we see, right? First of all, we know that the giants are right here, but you see this giant serpent? Let's talk about him first, because this is probably like the least important one. I wonder if this is supposed to be like Kaido. He has the same horns as Kaido. Is this a nightmare Kaido? We know that the cloud most likely is Big Mom and her ability with Zeus, okay? This is representation of the nightmares of a Big Mom, right? But we also have this ugly rabbit thing. That's probably just a kid's nightmare, some mutation. And then we have a giant wolf. The giant wolf, is it just Fenrir? Is this Loki's real form? That's what a lot of people are saying. There was a giant purple wolf on the cover art of an old One Piece cover art. And there was a lot of theories online saying that giant purple wolf could be Loki, because Loki's hair is purple. We just got that revelation recently too, with, you know, when Elbaf started. But the picture of that wolf with his tongue hanging out his mouth was from a long time ago. And it's just a coincidence that Loki also has purple hair and his tongue's always hanging out his mouth too. And he's from Elbaf, and he could likely be Fenrir. We don't know. But so this could be Kaido, right? This is the biggest mystery, Zunisha. When I saw this, I was wondering, now, why would Zunisha be a nightmare in the Children of Elbaf's nightmare stories or their tales or whatever? Why is it a nightmare of Zunisha? This means that a nightmare or a story of him being this thing to be feared is getting passed down through Elbaf legend and children's stories. A giant elephant with these crazy scary legs. And it's kind of a funny coincidence that, and maybe it's not a coincidence at all, right? But the existence of Zunisha being right here, I wish I had the proper pictures to align right next to this so I can show you. But there's an artist, I forget his name, I think he's an Italian artist. He used to draw elephants like this. This is the idea of Zunisha. This is where the idea of Zunisha came from. This Italian artist, you can search it up to back check it. I might make a short video on it just because I'm thinking of it right now. But Zunisha's origin was an artist who was drawing portraits of nightmares and like dreams being disturbing and all that sort of shit. So the fact that Zunisha is now appearing in an actual physical manifestation of a children's nightmares for giants, right? All their nightmares are usually like, they're all giant things. None of them have been like so far a small human-sized thing. Even their Nika was giant, right? Their Nika was giant. So Nika was probably a giant. Joy Boy wasn't. But Zunisha being here was really interesting, bro. I'm wondering, like, what did Zunisha do in the past that makes him have these legends of being feared? What did he do? I couldn't even tell you or guess what the fuck it could have been that he did, right? But let's go on. I don't know why. So the giants are running away after the rest of them started getting turned and flipped over, okay? Dory and Bragi fucking shit up. They're running around, turning everybody over to the side. We don't see the giants grow, but they just come out bigger. They just come out bigger already, okay? So now Dory and Bragi still trying to lay waste to everybody. And did I mention Dory's hand floats? That's kind of weird. Like, if he stops being a demon, if you can reverse it, will his hand just be forever cut off? Because I thought it was going to grow back, right? But he's really like a zombie in this case, because his hand is not grown back at all. You can see the bone, and it's floating there like it's magic or some shit, right? And all of a sudden, there's more pitchforks back there on their side. They got more pitchforks and shit, right? So yeah, she's coming, right? Mama's gonna save Colin because they found out about Mr. Ya. And by the way, the Giants mentioned how since Ya is gone, that they're at a disadvantage now. They lost a great asset that aids them, right? This is why people think the Giants are weak, because one man, and yeah, albeit the rest of the Giants are fighting other Giants who've become demons, and Dory and Bragi are stronger than the other regular Giants anyway, right? But just the fact that they can't put up a fight at all anymore because Ya is gone, because Gabon is gone, that's crazy. But I understand it. Like, a human can be stronger than a giant. Giants are innately already strong. What happens if you make a giant train and get his strength the same way one of those humans did? He'll be the strongest person in the world. Okay? Somebody like Gabon, if it was a giant that trained and, you know, got as tough as Gabon through training and experience, at the end of the road, Gabon wouldn't be stronger than the giant, because he's just inherently different. His base level is just different. Okay, so if you put a multiplier on a base level of 100, he's always going to be stronger. Okay, well, we see the demons, these new nightmares spawning out of the holes, because I guess the children, they're hearing the Elbaf talk about demons in their sleep, in their dreams. So I don't know how they haven't walked off the map yet, right? I guess they just made them start walking in a different direction. That was never talked about. But yeah, some more demons. And you know what I noticed? Oda's depiction of demons, it's like, it's always going to be like this now. The little old school depiction of demons with the horns, and maybe these horns, we're going to find out sooner or later that it's symbolic of, and maybe it's like akin to the type of horns that ancient demons had, and that's why they have horns, because ancient giants, are demons. Possibly. That's another theory that a lot of people thought of, and somebody's gonna try to say that they thought of it first. That's not how all that shit works. So Killingham, or Saint Killingham, right? He's the one making the giant dream monsters, and his new form, he looks kind of crazy. The face he has with the teeth and all this, and eyelash shit going on, and the teeth, and he also has like the cloud sash around him. The clouds around him reminds me of Yamato's half man form, her man hybrid form, like, right? So I took this other screenshot because there's a couple more giants back here, like monsters, but I don't think these are anything important. This is like a giant tiger dog. This motherfucker's retarded. I don't know. This is looking like the giant type of bird that the Gorosei was. Who knows? Okay. The mothers of Elbaf, they want to fight back now. They're going to try to save the kids. Maybe they will. And then the kids will be taken out of the story now because nobody will have to save them. So that'll be one less thing for the rest of the crew and the giants to worry about. And the plot won't have to worry about them anymore. Okay. But Gimu wants to crush the heart of Elbaf. I wonder why they want to break the heart of Elbaf and make them submit, apparently. And I cut the half of the box off because I don't want to get copyrighted, but they say it's Harold's fault as to why, it's his folly as to why the kingdom has not been subjugated already, right? And I'm wondering, like, yeah, it's probably because, like, he didn't let himself get possessed. He ripped his horns out or some shit. I don't know. We're going to find out. Oh, his horns are already ripped out before then, right? But he probably didn't let himself get possessed. Or he told Loki to kill him. He told Loki to kill him before he got possessed. And then they killed Imu's last puppet. Because Imu probably sent another puppet there. There's no way Imu themselves would pull up, right? I feel like Imu needs some sort of special treatment or some shit anyway. They can't leave Mary-Joie for a reason. Like there's a spell or some shit on the island of Mary-Joie, on the Grand Line, on the Red Line, that they can't leave. But Chopper, okay? Chopper falling down, chasing Gabon. And I took a screenshot of this because how the fuck is Chopper running on the air, bro? How the fuck is Chopper running on the air? This shit makes no fucking sense, okay? It makes no sense. That's why I took a screenshot of this. Because why and how is Chopper running on the air? That shit makes no sense. And you can't tell me he's not running on the air. When they fell out the sky, there was nothing near him. They're both falling clearly out the air in a vast open space. Okay, I didn't take a screenshot of that big space. I didn't think I would need it because, like, he's falling out the fucking air, bro. We all saw the panel. He's not running on the tree. Why can Chopper do this? Is Oda just like making jokes and gags now? Did he forget this shouldn't be a thing? Has he been too close to Luffy? Are his devil fruits also like reaching the world of like joke territory, or is it just a gag? Because he's trying to like fall fast. I thought he was gonna change forms 3 times, honestly, from when I knew that from last chapter, that he fell. I thought he was gonna turn into like big man, not maybe giant form or like the muscle form, right? And then get heavier, so he falls past Gabon and he can grab him and then go into guard point. I wonder, how did he guard point this nigga with those things in him? He grabbed him from the side, probably. Maybe. But then we see Luffy and the crew eating here, and it's funny, this panel started off with Loki and Haruden arguing, and in the middle of them arguing, Luffy says, hey, did Chopper just fall? Okay, he said, how did I know that? Chopper's weak, and Chopper's saving, he's chasing, he's with somebody. He said Chopper just fell, he's chasing somebody, and the person he's with is weakened. That's what I meant to say, right? And then we see Haruden holding his axe in the air, trying to like kill Loki and reach for him. Loki just does not care. He's just sitting there eating like Luffy. These niggas are funny, dude. That shit is hilarious. So the two wings, they're like, oh, we gotta go save him. This sounds bad. Luffy's wondering, how did I see this, right? Now, I've seen Dawn Dusk say that he thinks this is the same type of like shit that Roger had, which I don't think could be the case because Luffy was already hearing the voice of all things. Okay, I think this is just the door opening up to a higher level of observational haki. Simply point blank and period. Luffy in the past already was noted to be able to sense humans' emotions. He's already been somewhat of an empath in the first place. Not an empath, he's been emotionally intelligent, and he can sense people's emotions and animals' emotions, at least, as noted by Rayleigh. Silver's Rayleigh noted this, okay? And I think this is just a natural heightened observational haki, which he can tell, he can read people. He can read people. Not only can he see the future a little bit, but observational haki, I think, encompasses all things observational that you can perceive. I think it encompasses all things about perception. So they might be able to hear some wild shit. They might be able to see some shit. They can understand things that that the eye normally wouldn't be able to understand. He can perceive things that his eyes wouldn't be able to perceive. His normal body wouldn't be able to perceive. A human, it's body and ears. Okay. So they note that we got to go find them, and they actually did leave. I didn't notice that. They did leave because in the next panel, somehow Loki has this the snail on his chest. I don't think it was there the whole time. Doesn't make sense. But he has the snail on his chest, and then you can see the snail, the person in the snail saying, hello, Loki. He said, Shaggy, listen, I'm busy right now. Call back later. He doesn't want anybody around him to hear that he has a friend and that he's on the call. He doesn't want anybody to hear that shit. Okay? And then he's talking to them, and then later on, I was right about that, because later on, he gets mad at Gerd and says, what are you looking at? And she says, I'm just glad you have a friend down here in the lonely underworld. Okay? So she said that she could have been being sarcastic, or she could have been serious. Who knows? Maybe Gerd likes Loki. Headcanon. So they bring Gabon. They wheel him over in the background. Okay, and then we see Luffy finds out off screen. He's like, oh, everybody must love this old man. And the next panel, they told him already. He's like, what? He was with the fucking Roger Pirates. What are y'all talking about? Blah, blah, blah. He's all happy and excited. Like, yo, that means he knows Shanks. And then somebody, I think it's Haruden, he's saying like, yo, yeah, I think he might have been number 3, I think. And then he's like, number 2. This nigga was not trying to let that shit go, okay? I'm number 2. He had to let them know. And then we reached the end of the chapter here. Okay, Chopper, by the way, Chopper did not remember. Because they asked, like, yo, how did he get fucked up like this? We're glad you're awake. Chopper waited this whole time to start telling everybody. He said, oh yeah, about that. There was these people on top of the island, and the giants, and then the kids, and then a big thunder crack happened. And then everybody's like, what the fuck? He said, and everyone get back on the lift. We're returning to the sun world. Elbaf's in danger. Save your breath, Chopper. I get the idea. Whose preposterous haki is that? Looks like you're going to need me after all. He's ready, okay? Loki is trying to get in the action. He's not playing around, okay? They're not going to let him up. I feel like they should. They might. We're going to have to find out next chapter if they let him up or not. They might let him up. Somebody might end up awakening him, or they might like see that they're losing up top, and somebody might run back down to hell just to free him. Like, Loki, we need you. He's like, I knew you were going to say that. Like, the nigga, he could probably see the future, bro. Like, what's up with his eyes? Does he keep his eyes covered because his observational hockey's so great he could see the entire future? I don't know. I'm just making some shit up. Like, why are his eyes covered? I feel like he has something to do with his eyes, his power. Something to do with his eyes. Or maybe it's just his character design. It's probably just his design. It seems like he could see and everything normally with his eyes covered. I think his design just doesn't have eyes. And we see he's embarrassed too. I didn't even notice that he's embarrassed. It looks like. I think that's what that is. And he has snot dripping on his nose. I forget what panel this is from exactly. Was it with him getting mad, like asking, are you in danger again? I forget. But Loki's a nice character, man. He's funny. Luffy's funny. I can't wait to see what type of action, what type of fight they get into next chapter. That shit's gonna be nice. But I'm gonna end the live here, and I'm gonna upload this video right now.